Hey, y'all. Welcome to today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I want to start y'all out with a question. All right, so how many times have you been so focused on the number on the scale or that swimsuit you want to wear, you get such intense tunnel vision that you don't allow yourself to really enjoy other parts of your life? We have all been there. I've been there. I'm sure you've been there. We've all done it. It's an easy trap to fall into. The truth is that it is difficult to achieve your goals or make meaningful change without some kind of laser focus. But what happens when you meet your goal? What happens after swimsuit season is over? Are you falling into the same habits and the same traps to only repeat the same cycle 12 months later? This is why today's podcast is called Lose Weight, Not Your Soul. It is so easy to fall into the cycle of self-criticism and unhappiness that really does damage your whole being. Today, I truly want to come clean and talk about this. How do we make sure we don't lose ourselves in pursuit of who we think we should be? How do we love ourselves, not in spite of our imperfections, but because of them? All right, y'all, let's get into it. All right, so this podcast is called Lose Weight and Not Your Soul. When I first started my own fitness journey, even before, my definition of beauty was how skinny I was. It was not weighing more than 100 pounds because, God forbid, if I did, holy moly, what would make of me, you know? But you know what? I was skinny, but I was so unhealthy. I was skinny and I thought that I could only do cardio, that I wouldn't eat half of the day. I thought that I had to live off of salads. And reality was, this was before a lot of the restaurants that we eat in now have the calorie counts on the salads. But a lot of the salads, like let's say Cheesecake Factory, has so many calories. And there's more calories in the salad than there would be in the burger. So my definition of skinny, or what I thought was beautiful, or the thing that I had to maintain to meet a standard, was so far from unhealthy. And then I was introduced to fitness shows, and I was taught that with proper nutrition, and then I was introduced to weightlifting, it could change the way your body looked versus just focusing on weighing the least. I am so grateful that I did a fitness competition, but fitness competition diet for me was also very unhealthy. A fitness competition diet for me meant that I was only eating 5, 10 foods. I mean, I can really count the foods that I was eating constantly on 2 hands: chicken, broccoli, rice, all of the bland diet foods that you hear when you think of diet. I was only limiting my food consumption, which again is not healthy. And even though I was looking more fit, I wasn't being balanced and I wasn't doing it a healthy way. You kind of have to be obsessive in order to be at the competition level. And what I mean by that is, I didn't really have a social life. I wasn't going to those family functions. I wasn't going out to eat with friends. I was obsessed with having my chicken, my rice, my broccoli. If I had to take it in a Tupperware, I would do that. But here's the thing. There's a realization that you can't live your life like that. You can't live your life forever off of chicken, rice, and broccoli out of some Tupperware. It's just, it's not going to happen. There's a realization that you are looking the way you want to look, but are you enjoying life? It's just too restrictive. You have to find a healthy medium. And honestly, this is why I created my Fit and Fight program, because I know it is hard to find the steps that you need in order to create a healthier lifestyle. Fit and 5 is designed to help my clients get started, to see results, and to stick with them. Me and my team of experts have worked to create custom plans for all my clients, so not only can they be successful within the challenge, but so after the challenge is over, you can maintain your health and find balance in your everyday life. Your custom plan is basically a crash course to help you change your habits and reach your goals. Just remember to love yourself before, during, and after the process. Go to fitand5.com now to sign up for our next challenge and use promo code ComingClean and join a community of people just like you and I, working to be our best versions of ourselves with balance and a healthy plan. Again, go to fitand5.com and sign up with promo code ComingClean. If you don't have balance, this is where your soul, I personally think, can suffer. How mentally exhausting is it to be so restricted? I know that when I was super restricted and lived a life without balance, I was drained. How often would you want to go out with friends and be more carefree, but you can't do that because you're on a path to achieving your goals? For me personally, I know that I missed going out with friends for dinner. When it came to family gatherings or holidays, you wouldn't find me filling a plate full of food. I would be bringing my Tupperware and eating out of Tupperware. My life revolved around Tupperware. Accomplishments are definitely something that feed the soul. Don't get me wrong, but it's missing all of the other aspects of life. When you're working to look a certain way, you can ignore how you feel getting there. It's too easy to fall into that vicious cycle of wanting to be different, then failing to get there. Or worse, you could get there, but then you feel like it's just not enough. You have to ask yourself, where is the finish line? It's so easy to be stuck on this journey, but to never feel truly satisfied. There is nothing worse for your soul than to never feel like you're enough. You can fill your cup, but how can you make sure that you are also including the things in your life that bring you joy, that bring you fulfillment? How do you get to a place where you're happy and not second guessing yourself? How can you be a good example for your children, your siblings, or your friends on what standards should be, or how to think about fitness in a healthy way, or your own body image? We don't think our peers or our children are watching us, but they absolutely are. Things are extremely different for our children now than they used to be. When we were younger and comparing ourselves to people in magazines or on TV shows, when I was younger, my awareness was limited to people that were famous or people that saw into our life because really social media wasn't a thing. This has become so much more complicated in the age of social media. Girls now have such an issue with the way they look. It's crazy if you look into the statistics on that. The standard of reality and how we should look, we should look, has gotten so morphed. You see everyone filtered. You do a story and it's filtered. You do a post and it's filtered. And you see the highlight reels of everyone's life. So I get it because I do it too. This is also why I started balancing my social media feeds with body positivity. We all struggle with it. I know that when I first created my Instagram and started to share my fitness journey, it was truly just to inspire people to also possibly fall in love with this newfound love that was changing my life. And then as social media grew, and then I realized that people were only posting the highs, their highlights. That's why I knew that it was important for me to share the struggle that I was going through, because seeing people through their highs and their highlights only, you then begin to question your own self, your own life, your own image, and that is not the direction that I knew that I wanted to take my brand, because it really is so different now. If you don't like something about yourself, you can go change it. You can put a filter on it. This is a blessing, but it is also a double-edged sword. When we were young, having freckles or the chin or the nose or the ankles, those were the things that made us who we are. Part of becoming a strong and confident person was learning to love and accept those things. Can we just recognize that once you hit your dream body, you may not actually love yourself more? When you think about the parts of your body that your, let's say, significant other loves most, oftentimes it's the imperfections and it's the things that are so uniquely you that are their favorite. How can we love ourselves the way those who love us most do? Things that you don't like about yourself at one point in your life may actually end up being that thing that you later love about yourself. So I know this isn't looks, but I have to tell you this story about growing up. I hated my laugh. It might sound silly to you, but I just hated my laugh. And sometimes I would get, my family would say like, oh, they would call it a cackle, which doesn't sound great. So it probably did not help me not liking my laugh and being insecure about my laugh. But honestly, now that I laugh more, especially on social media and on my story, that's one of the things that I get commented on the most, where people compliment. They're like, I love your laugh. It's so contagious and it's infectious and it's cute. And now I think back and I'm like, I used to hate my laugh. And it's one thing that people comment on the most. I know that there's nothing wrong with it. It was just an insecurity. No matter who you are, these things matter. And they matter so much. I may even argue that these are the most important things that you can focus on. If you can't love yourself, if you don't truly enjoy yourself, what kind of life is that? Even those who seem like they have it all together, who seem like they never question themselves, they have the same struggle. This is what makes us human. This is something that we all can relate to. It's also something that we can improve. We can help each other with this. Let's all give up the idea of perfection and embrace the imperfect journey. I know this is easier said than done. So with that being said, I wanted to give y'all some tips in today's The 5 segment. Here are my 5 ways to love your body while feeding your soul. First things first, and it's simply move. Make sure that throughout your day, you're finding ways to move your body, stretch, Pilates, yoga, CrossFit, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you do it. Obviously, finding a good workout routine is ideal, but in case you get caught up in a hectic day like I did today, I did not have much time. I went in a corner with my dumbbells. I had a 10-pounder and a 5-pounder, and I did a 30-minute shoulder workout. 30 minutes. But guess what? I got up and I moved my body. At the very least, find some ways to find time to move your body. Number 2, stop it. Stop comparing yourself and love yourself. This one is all about how you measure yourself. There is a great quote. It's comparison is a thief of joy. I'm going to repeat that because it's so powerful. Comparison is the thief of joy. We are all different. We can't hold ourselves to the same standards of someone else. When you can learn to accept yourself and appreciate the things that make you, you, there is a happiness there that is hard to explain. You don't have to cross some finish line or imaginary crazy goal to get there. You can learn to love yourself throughout your entire journey. Number 3, all right, your self-confidence is in your control. This is another such a good one. Your self-confidence is in your control. I have had so many different versions of myself throughout my journey, and I've shared that on social media. If you go to my Instagram, one of my latest posts shows 10 years how my body image has changed. And no matter what I look like, there was always someone who didn't approve. For example, when I was my leanest and my most in shape or fittest or whatever you want to call it, there would be people commenting on my Instagram hateful things. I'm telling you, there's always going to be someone who doesn't approve, no matter what stage you're in. So if you're looking for that outside approval to feel confident and content, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're never then going to feel fully content. If you want to get an accurate feel for how others see you, take a look at those closest to you. That's real. And I assure you, if you could see yourself through their eyes, you probably wouldn't have any confidence issues. Number 4, find time to turn off all technology and all distractions and take some time for yourself. We now live in a time where we are constantly stimulated and distracted. As human beings, we all need time to stop, to breathe, to think, and reflect. So find some silence and then just sit in it. Number 5, and this is a fun one. It's simply learn something new. There is something so energizing about expanding our minds. Take time in your schedule to learn something new, whether this is just reading a book, taking a class, even listening to a podcast. Wink, wink. Make sure to always find ways of growing and expanding your mind. At the end of the day, this isn't about just losing weight or maintaining your ideal weight or even getting the perfect body. It's actually about maintaining and feeding your soul. Having the perfect body means nothing, trust me, if you sacrifice everything to get there. Life is just too short. This is why I stress balance. We should all be ambitious and motivated, yes. We should all want to reach for things that are beyond what we think we can achieve, yes. Just don't lose yourself in the process. All right, y'all, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for listening. I know I say this a lot, but please go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review because it helps so many others find the show. And please also share this with people in your life. I know that some of you guys are already doing that on social media, and I really appreciate you, but I know that a lot of people could really use this message. That is it for me today, you guys. I will see and talk to you guys next week. Bye, y'all.